Shouldn't make any difference to you. Perfect. So let's get settled somewhere comfortable-ish. So it doesn't really matter, just sitting however feels good to you. You can have crossed legs, you can have your legs out in front of you if you want to. Feel very welcome to lie down. I don't mind how you start today. And as I was just saying before we started, today we are embracing the water element. So the last couple of weeks, we've been really working into the heart space. Last week we started to invite a little bit more fluidity into our practice. Today we're going to progress that even more. So going to be working a lot with the hips, quite a lot with the legs. We will balance that with the heart because we want to keep this flow of energy, this openness, this fluidity and adaptability going. And the reason that we're kind of having this watery practice today is we're coming into the Pisces new moon this Wednesday, Thursday. And it really is the very end of the kind of zodiac calendar. Things are hotting up everywhere. Feels like every single person I've spoken to the last week's been having some kind of, I'm not laughing because it's funny, I'm laughing because it's just always everybody at once. Some kind of sort of crisis in their lives or somebody their loves lives that's affecting them. So we're all feeling it and feeding it. And so our practice is always our place of stability and safety, isn't it? And I think when things are really difficult, remembering that we can ebb and flow and that things aren't constant and they do change and they do come and go is a really important thing to remember. So we are going to embrace that fluidity in a really positive way as much as we can this evening. And if nothing else, we can just imagine the water washing everything away. So we can start either with just hands at heart or a nice easy meditative pose. If you want to work with this kind of releasing, washing, flowing energy, we're going to work with our Apana mudra. So reminding ourselves that Apana Vayu is that down and out, that releasing, letting go energy. Perfect for new moon, perfect for watery, which is middle fingers down, held by the thumb. So a little bit like a rocker gesture. But we turn that mudra downwards. So our energy was going, imagine you tipping a bucket down and out. So we're washing it all away. And you can just let the hands rest comfortably. And if you feel happy to, you're welcome to close down your eyes or just soften the gaze down to a single point so that we've not got any distractions in the eye line. And just give yourself a few moments to settle. Taking all of that busy, fizzy, always on, sort of constant distraction and stimulation from our modern lives. And starting to let it go. With the eyes closed, already starting to feel your awareness, your attention turning inward. And perhaps spending these opening moments of your practice noticing how you feel. Maybe taking a few moments of self-inquiry through the physical body, through the energetic body, through the mental body, the emotional body and beyond. And just start to notice where you're holding any tension. Perhaps your brow is all scrunched up, perhaps the jaw's slightly clenched. As you exhale, start to invite softness and release. Perhaps traveling down the body, noticing if the shoulders are up by your ears, give them a little roll or a couple of rolls down into their sockets. Allow the spine to be long as you sink the sitting bones, if you're sitting, into the earth and lift up through the crown of the head. And then wherever you're sat or lying, invite softness through the belly. Invite softness through the pelvis, the hips, the legs, the feet, the toes. And just start to create that softness, that space within the physical body for everything to flow a little easier. Connecting now, if you haven't already, with that flow of the breath. Just noticing that gentle inhale and that soft exhale through the mouth. Sinking and softening away. Inhale, maybe a little more deeply. Into the belly through the nose. And then a soft exhale through the mouth. Releasing away. And again, inhale more deeply now through the chest, the ribs, the belly. Slowly out through the mouth. Belly, ribs, chest, soften. So our 3-part breath. In through the front, the sides, the back of the body. Exhale, slow release. So just allowing the breath now to ebb and flow, using all of the lungs, remembering the lungs are bigger, wider at the bottom. And then allow that breath to draw back up. Finding that connection to the breath, that energetic layer, pranamaya kosha. Maybe connecting a little more deeply with how you feel. If you're exhausted and depleted, maybe use your practice to soothe and nourish. If you feel a bit fizzy and like you've got a bit of fizzy, anxious energy left over from the day, then maybe your practice can stretch and wash it away. So working with wherever you are to find balance, either to let go, to restore, to energize, whatever it is you need this evening. Flowing with those waves of breath. The breath is such a wonderful tool in so many ways. Using it here as we deepen and slow the breath to restore, to balance, to nourish. Perhaps imagining the breath as waves. As you inhale, a wave rises. And as you exhale, that breath breaks and falls. As you inhale, the next wave rises. And then as you exhale, that wave breaks and falls. Maybe moving to a fully nasal breath now as you inhale, wave rises. Maybe you can take a little pause at the top of the wave. And then as you exhale through the nose, allow that wave to fall. Maybe at the bottom of the breath, at the bottom of the wave, there's another little pause. And then you inhale again, wave rises. Little pause, top of the wave. Exhale through the nose, wave falls. Little pause at the bottom. So we're starting to notice now that the breath isn't just in 2 parts. It's actually got 4 parts to it. And those little pauses, which we can obviously lengthen when we bring control to the breath, our pranayama, our control of the breath, help to find that moment of peace, that little pause, a little break between movement or action, that stillness, that balance, which is kind of going on underneath the waves. And that's the energy we're really working with today. Finding that calm beneath the waves, the calm beneath the storm, kind of constant solidity that we've been talking about since the beginning of the year, of the heart, of the self, of our own knowledge and love and wisdom, so that we can start to notice that those ripples, those waves of emotions, which will be potentially heightened during this new moon period, do just ebb and flow away. One day we can feel super anxious, super distraught, super elated, and the next day we can feel totally different. But underneath all of that, we're still here, we're still us. And the more we notice those waves of emotions and thoughts and everything that contributes to them, the more maybe we can step back and separate ourselves from them a little bit. Acknowledging that things change, things flow, things trigger us, things upset us, things overwhelm us, but they too change and flow and move and adapt and come and go. So really working with the idea of what we can control and just flowing along with what we can't. If you want to set a sankalpa, an affirmation this evening, it may be I flow. Maybe you feel you just need to kind of not even rise above it, right below it in this analogy, and find that solid ground. Or anything else that comes to mind. The last breath or two here. And then we're going to invite some movement with the breath. We're actually going to come to Bhastrika, which is bellows breath. So quite an activating breath. So the only caveat here is not necessarily very good if you've got high blood pressure, because it's quite activating. You can always do it more slowly, or you can just stay with your waves of breath. But it is a nice activating, cleansing breath, which will get rid of anything that's a bit sticky or stagnant. So you can release your Apana Mudra if you're still holding it, wiggle your fingers. You can just bring your hands onto your knees and hold on to your knees, or the earth, knees probably better. Or if you want to make it more energizing, more activating, you can add arms. So Kriya means action as well, so we can pump our arms. So Bhastrika is a forceful inhale and exhale. So we've done Kapalabhati quite a lot, which just focuses on the exhale. But with bellows breath, we really pump the in and exhale. So I'm going to demonstrate. So we'll take a nice big inhale, all through the nose, exhale away. We're going to take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, you start to pump through the nose. And as you exhale, you bring your arms down. So we'll go. And when you've had enough, big stretch, big inhale, exhale. Oh, let it go through the mouth. So if you played along with me then, you might already be feeling a bit of heat. Really cleanses the lungs, drives the energy, flows around the body, clears any kind of stagnant sinuses or lungs. We were just talking about how damp everybody is. So really good for getting rid of all that dampness in the lungs. So your choice, you can have hands on the knees, or you can lift the arms and we pump with the breath. So let's take one round of breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Oh. And then just start when you're ready. Big inhale. Let it go. Oh, big stretch. If it makes you feel lightheaded, then you don't have to do it, or you can just take a couple of breaths, maybe close down the eyes. Sometimes a bit much in the evening if we're feeling a bit tired. This one's really good in the morning. If you wake up and you feel a bit lethargic and groggy, a few rounds of this and you'll be fighting fit. If you feel you want to, we're going to do one more round. If you don't, just stay with your waves of breath or your 3-part yogi breath. If you're coming up, lift the arms. If you're using the arms, you can take one big inhale. Exhale through the mouth, then go for it. Big inhale. Let it go. Ooh. And what we're really using, as well as obviously pumping the lungs, so we're using the abdominals. The abdominals are moving to help move the diaphragm that's pumping that air, which is another reason this is really good in the morning, because it kickstarts your metabolism so that everything's moving and pumping in the morning. So just come back to your waves of breath, or just a calmer, more balanced breath. We can bring hands to the knees now or the floor, and we're going to start with lots of circling, spiraling movements. So just start slowly. You don't want to whiz around too quickly. Start to rotate around. the base of the spine. We might even just be in a little tiny movement here to begin with. If we start quite small, it's just going to really be your abdominals that you can feel. And then once you've done that, you might start to make it more of a full body movement. You might even start to move the shoulders and the elbows will come too. You might even start to loll the head, but you're not just letting it go, you're consciously moving it with the body. And then take a little pause, and then let's come all the way back around. So again, you might start quite small. Really just use the belly. And then you might start to add a little forward fold and a little backward heart opener. And then you might start to really involve those shoulders, like you're doing a little shimmy. And then you might start lolling the neck around if it feels good. If that's really intense on your neck, then just leave the neck out of it. One more big round. Oh. And then come all the way back up. Release the hands as you inhale. And I'll try and mirror you. So if you take hold of your right hand with your left, and then start to pull that right hand over to the left. Maybe you turn your head to look to the right. Take a really long side stretch, so coming all out of your ribs, out of the hip. You can bend that left elbow. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, come back up. Swap hands. So this time you've got the left wrist in the right hand. Inhale. Really lift, keeping the shoulders in their sockets, but extend through the arms. And then tip over to the right. Maybe turn your head to the left. Come a little deeper. Yes, really find that stretch all out the left side body. Come a little deeper again. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Come to that prana mudra that we just used for our Bhastrika Kriya. We're going to inhale here. And then we're going to start to move the elbows. So try and keep the arms lifted. Rotate round and round and round. Bit of a strange sensation. You might automatically start to rotate your wrists and fingers as well. If you're not, then feel free to add them in. Warming up all of those joints in the body. And then come back the other way. That's it, lovely. Do a couple more. Nice and strengthening for the shoulders too. And we're finally going to come to a twist. So we're going to take our left hand onto our right leg and turn round to the right. So take that right arm behind. Try and keep the shoulders in their sockets again. Inhale here. Twist a little deeper. Look over that back right shoulder. One more breath. Slowly come back to centre. Lift the arms. Swap sides. Turning round to the left. So you've got right hand on left leg or left knee. Left hand behind. Or you can have the hand on the hip behind you. Whatever feels more comfortable. One last breath here. And then slowly come back to centre. We're going to find our way onto hands and knees. And just start to open the spine a bit more. So nice wide hands and knees position. Starting with some hip circles. Again, you might have little hip circles and just be moving around the hips. And then you might go back the other way. And then you might decide to make this a bit bigger. So change direction again. Start to send the bottom and the heart forwards and backwards. In whatever rhythm you're working with. You can send the hands forward, you can move the knees back, give yourself as much space as you need. Take a little pause backwards in a little child's pose, and then start to come forwards, coming round. Couple more times, and then ending up in a child's pose. So sink the bottom back, forehead down. If you can't bring the forehead to the floor, then use your hands or a brick, or stack the wrists on top of each other, or the fists even on top of each other. And just allow that length to come all the way down the spine, into the hips. Taking that pause that we've talked about for 2 breaths. One more here. And then find your way up onto hands and knees. It's your choice here whether you want to stay on hands and knees or whether you want to slowly and firm into your downward facing dog. It's our first one. You might want to take a couple of breaths Opening the backs of the legs, having a little wiggle of the knees or the hips. Or stay on hands and knees if you prefer, and similarly, have a little wiggle. Send the hips one way, the head the other, maybe some more of those hip circles. So really lubricating all of the big joints in the body. If you're in downward facing dog, and take a little bend of the knees, and then lift your hips, so open the shoulders a little deeper. I'm going to come towards you, but then we're going to revolve. Little spoiler alert there. So then I'll be back on track again. So we're going to inhale, lift our right leg, lift it up to the sky, and then exhale, open the knee, open the hip. We're going to take 3 big hip circles. So inhale, knee under the body, exhale, open. Oh, feel that ball and socket coming through. And again, creating that fluidity in space. One more. And then this time, inhale, knee under, exhale, step that right foot nice and wide. We're coming into a lizard lunge. First round, so it's your choice. You can keep back knee up, or you can drop the back knee down so you can find your stability. You might want a brick. If you do, then it's coming under the left hand. We're going to bring our right hand onto our right knee and start to open that right knee and bring the right foot onto its edge. We might even turn the head to look to the right. So coming a bit deeper, a little bit of a twist. You can release that right hand all the way behind you as well, or bring it to the hip and take that twist a little deeper. If you're in the standing posture, you can come onto the little toe edges of both feet. One more breath here. And then slowly bring the right hand back up. This back knee might be down. We're back into that revolved twisted lunge. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, lift the arms. We're still revolved. We've got opposite hand forward, left hand forward, right back. So we're in a twisted warrior 2. Again, this might be standing, your choice. We will come to standing round 2 if you don't want to this time. We're going to reverse this warrior. So we're going to inhale, left hand up, right hand into the lower back, and really start to lift through the heart. So you're really finding this stretch now, down the left thigh, out of the left hip. One more inhale here. And then exhale, bring that left hand down to the ground. We're going to slide this left hand forwards. And if you've got your back knee down, now we might start to lift up. You might keep this right hand on the right hip or the lower back, or you might start to extend it. And from here, we're going to come to, or try and come to, strong for the start of the class, a revolved half moon pose. So this might be enough in this posture. If you want to, you might start lifting that back leg. You might need to slide your front hand forward a little bit. And then you might flex your back foot. So it's an internal rotation of the hips. It's very strong. Try and stack the shoulders on top of each other. Feel free to drop that back foot whenever you want. If you can, let's keep holding here. Focus on the breath. If you want to make it more challenging for yourself, you can see if you can take hold of it or tap that back toe. And have a few little movements here with the breath. Last one, kick up. And then we're all going to drop that back leg down. So coming back to this revolved lunge. We're now going to lift up and come back to a regular warrior 2. So spiral or windmill your hands all the way around. Right hand is in front. I am now going to turn around, otherwise I have my back to you. So just listen to my instructions rather than my body, because I'm going to keep going backwards and forwards now. So our right leg is in front, our right arm is in front. We're in our Virabhadrasana 2. From here, we're going to start to come from front to back on our mat. So slowly turning to the left, hands to heart. Bend your left or your back knee, coming into a side lunge, Skandasana. You can drop right down into the hip and lift the right toes if you want. Inhale, try and stay low. Really working through the hips and the pelvis. Come back to the front of the mat. Lovely. Try not to, as I just did, to collapse the upper body. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, come back to the back of your mat. Option to add a little twist here. So you're dropping your left hand by your left foot and extending your right hand to the sky. Look up to the hands, to the fingertips. If you want to, take this top right hand and half bind it. So you're almost taking hold, just about almost your left arm or your left hip. Lovely. One more inhale here. Inhale that right hand up to the sky, drop it down, and then we're going to walk ourselves all the way back to the front of the mat. Our right foot is in the middle of the mat here. So excuse me for having my back slightly to you, but you'll see why in a minute. So we're going to have that right foot in the middle of our hands. We're going to walk our hands forward a little. We're going to inhale, kick up first to a supported warrior three. So you're coming to your supported warrior three. You might have this back foot flexed. Trying to remember that in our warrior three, our hips are square, so we've not got this left hip flying out. Our hips are squared, so we're kicking down with that right foot and kicking back with that left foot. This might be enough for you. Keep looking forwards. If you want to try and progress this into standing split, then start to kick that left leg to the sky. You might even take hold of the right leg. Keep kicking that left leg up to the sky. Kick, 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 kick. And then as you're coming down, step that left foot behind your right foot. And if you can, sink down into a little cross-legged. So we're cross-legged, right leg in front. Little froggy curtsy. So holding here for one more breath. And then if you can, we're going to press the hands to the floor and step, or even a little froggy hop, back into a plank, okay? If a plank's too much, come to a tabletop. Your choice. 3 breaths here. Weight over the hands. Last one. On the exhale, you can drop the knees, chest and chin. You can come to your forearms. You can chaturanga straight down. And we're going to lift into a cobra. So we're not lifting all the way up. We're trying to keep those hips nice and low, elbows bent. Inhale here. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Come all the way up into a cat. And then sink yourself back to Balasana, child's pose. Let the knees come down, let the head come down, let the spine lengthen. So give yourself 3 breaths here. Nice deep inhale. Exhale it away. 2 more. Last one. And then when you're ready, rising up, hands and knees tabletop. Have a little wiggle. Or come straight back up to your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Again, you might stay stationary. You might have a little wiggle. So find what feels good to you. Wherever you are, little bend of the knees. Exhale, lift the hips. Open those shoulders. One more breath here. We're moving on the left side this time. So inhale, kick up that left leg. Exhale, open the knee, open the hip. Knee circles or hip circles. Inhale, knee under the body. Exhale, open it. So rotate round the hip joint. Inhale, under. Exhale, open. Try and keep the shoulders open. One more. Opening up. This time, knee under. And as you draw the knee out, step that left foot nice and wide. So come into your lizard lunge. Again, option. Back knee up or down. Think about what you did on the other side. Grabbing a brick. If you used it, or if you want to use it this time, it helps us get deeper into that twist. So right hand down. Inhale, left hand is coming to the left knee. Start to draw the knee out to the side. This left foot's coming on its side, turn to the left. If you want to extend the left hand behind you, option is to take this into a little bit of a bow. So pick up that back right foot, see if you can take hold of it. Keep looking to the left, wherever you are. One more breath here. Slowly let that back foot come down. Draw the left foot onto the ground. Left hand comes up to the sky. We're now in our revolved or twisted lunge. Again, you might have your back knee up here. It's your choice. One more breath here. And then from here, we're going to reverse. So we're going to inhale, lift our right hand up. Exhale, left hand to the hip, or even better, left onto the lower back. So we're not twisting round. We're lifting up to the sky. So you're really feeling this now. Up the right hip, the front of the pelvis, the psoas muscle. One more inhale here. And then exhale, bring that right hand back down. If you can, inhale, left hand up and start to step up on that back leg. And we're going to slide this right hand forward. This might be enough. If you want to try and come to that revolved half moon pose, shift your weight into the left hand, sorry, the left leg and the right hand, and flex that right foot. Keep lifting the top hand, the left hand to the sky. That's it. If you want to try and take that little dynamic movement, bend that back right knee, try and touch or take hold of the toes with your left hand. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, tap it. One more. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, tap it. Inhale, lift up. And hold. Well done. Gradually drop that back foot, and then we're going to revolve or windmill our hands all the way. So we're in a warrior two, regular warrior two, left hand, left leg, front of the mat. Lovely. Inhale here. If our shoulders are up by our ears, let them come down. Think in our hips. Inhale here. Exhale, start to turn to the right, hands to the heart in prayer, Anjali. Turn the right toes towards the back of the mat, and you're coming to Skandasana. Your variation, how low you come. Maybe lift up your left toes, your choice. Take a breath here. Try and keep the spine nice and long. Inhale, swapping sides, coming back to the front of the mat, trying to make it as fluid as possible. Take a breath here. Keep that heart lifted. And again, inhale, come to the back of the mat. This time, if you want to, take the twist. Right hand comes down to the earth by the right foot. Left arm lifts. So we're trying to stack. Lift those toes of the left foot if you can. Option for half bind. Left hand around the back. Maybe grab hold of the right thigh. Look up to the left. So really long stretch all down the right side of the neck. One more breath here. Working with those waves of breath. Inhale, release that left hand down. Walk yourself back to the front of the mat. Left foot is in the middle of the hands now. So we're coming into our Anjaneyasana, so our runner's lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, walk hands forward. You can use bricks under your hands. I feel like my back leg is a very long way away now. So just find your point of traction. When you're ready, inhale, start to lift. Supported warrior three. Again, try not to let this right hip fly out. Square the hips. Flex that back foot. Decide if you're going to stay here, if you want to try and make this into a standing split. If so, start to tip and kick. Maybe take hold of the left leg with the left hand. Kick that right leg up to the sky. Keep kicking, keep kicking, keep kicking. Exhale, take that right foot behind the left. Little curtsy. And see if you can sink down. If you can, maybe bring the hands up. You can drop this back knee and sit on that back foot if you want. Or you can try and keep the back knee off the ground. To do that, we're sitting our right bottom cheek on our right heel. I'm confusing myself today. Too many lefts and rights. So one more breath wherever you are. And then exhale your hands onto the ground. Your choice, step or hop back to a plank or a tabletop. Find your variation. 3 breaths, nice and strong. Find that strength and stillness. 2 more. Well done. Last one. Coming to the earth, so you might come chaturanga all the way down. You might knees, chest, chin. Again, let's try and keep it bhujangasana, so keep it low. Shoulders back, heart lifted. Take a breath. And when you're ready, lift up. Round through the spine. Find your way back into child's pose balasana. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, sink back in the bottom. Give yourself 3 waves or rounds of breath here. Oh, releasing, sinking on the exhale. Find that connection of the head, the heart, the earth with the breath. Taking a couple more breaths here just to rebalance. Allowing all of the energy in the body to move perhaps a little more freely, particularly around those big joints that we've started to open and lubricate. And then when you're ready, check in with your energy level. Decide whether you want to stay on hands and knees perhaps, or whether you prefer to rise, or you've already risen, Perhaps you've had enough and you'd like to come down. Perhaps you want to add something on. So completely your choice. I'm getting warm, as you could tell. So come back to hands and knees. Your choice. If you're coming up, downward facing dog, find your way there. 2 breaths. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the hips, come deeper into your posture. Moving on the right. Inhale, right leg loose. Maybe come up on your tippy toes on your left foot. Exhale, open knee, open hip. Just one hip circle this time. Inhale, knee under. Exhale, open. Inhale, knee under. Exhale, step your right foot nice and wide. Your choice, back knee is up or down. You're using your grip under the left hand. Inhale, spear pose, right hand forward. Exhale, lift it, revolve, twisted lunge, all optional. Next option, send it back. If you're in the standing variation, you can stay exactly as you are. I want to make it deeper in the hips, come onto the sides of the feet. Try not to let the bottom sag, we still lift it. Look to that back right hand. One more inhale here. Exhale, start to flow back. Send that right hand back up to the sky if you can. One more inhale here. And then we're going to start to take this into a reverse, revolved, reverse warrior. So lift. Oh, really use the legs. Left arm up, right hand to right hip or to the lower back. This back knee can always be down at this point. Holding here. This back knee is going to be slightly bent. Try and keep this front knee over the ankle, okay? So we're not shooting forwards. One more breath here. And then slowly bring that left hand back to your grip. We're sliding it forward if we can. Look forward, coming to that revolved half moon pose. Lifting, flex that back foot, maybe send that right hand to the sky. So we're turning to the right, internal rotation of the heart thighs, of the hips. If you want to take that little dynamic twist, take the touch and extend. Come back. So you're really tucking this back left knee into the standing right knee. Yes, one more. And extend. Lovely. Slowly step back. Ground that back heel as you rise and windmill the arms all the way back into Virabhadrasana 2. Okay? So really opening through the heart, opening through the hips. I'm just going to turn around again to confuse everybody. Otherwise I can't see you. Coming here, so you don't need to move anywhere. You've still got your right leg and your right hand at the front of the mat, okay? So we're inhaling here. Exhale, turn to the left, bring the hands to the heart, come straight into that Skandasana at the back of the mat. Left knee. Inhale, try and take that movement all the way to the front without collapsing the heart. One more, come to the back of the mat. This might be enough. If you want to take the twist, left hand down, right hand lifts. If you want to make this more intense, checking there's nothing behind me, see if you can sink onto your bottom really gracefully like I did. I'm going to come back on my mat. I'm going to take this into a full bind. So, well, half bind on this side. So we're going to take our left arm inside this left leg. And this is always a weird one because you've got to rotate your arm the wrong way. So send that arm around and see if you can send this right hand the other way. Bit of jiggery pokery. If you've got a strap, this is an option too. And then turn. Yes, lovely. Lots of options, otherwise stay where you were. One more breath. Wherever you are, release. Send the hands up to the sky if you can, keep at the heart. And then bring yourself back up. Woo, not the easiest transition. We're going to bring ourselves all the way back round to the front of the mat. So walk back round to the front of the mat. Right foot is in the middle of the mat. We are in our Anjaneyasana lunge. I'm turning around again so I can see you. From here, coming into that supported warrior 3. Send your hands forward. You can use bricks under your hands if you've got them. Lift up. Find those square hips. So you see here, this was my instant lift. And then I've dropped that left hip to bring the hips in line. If you want to come to standing split, start to forward fold. Walk your hands back. Start to kick that left leg up. I find that if I hold the right foot, but just take the balance, I can kick higher. Kick higher, kick higher, kick higher. Few options this time. So same as last time. You can take that top left leg behind the right and come into your little curtsy. Maybe you're sitting the bottom cheek on the heel. Maybe you're dropping that back left knee. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, we can come to baby grasshopper. So as you come down, bending this standing right leg, extend the left leg out to the side. Might touch the floor. Ideally, it's hovering. See if you can take hold of that foot and kick. Kick, kick, kick. So I'm putting my foot on the floor this evening because I am tired today. But you can, if you've got this left hand forward enough, lift that foot, okay? Try and look to the toes. Wherever you are, don't worry, I'm being really mean this evening. And then the fun bit is trying to come back out again. So drop the hands, lift that left leg. See if you can get it back up in the air in some way. And then step it behind. Come to your little curtsy. So we're all in our little curtsy. If we can, try and keep that back left knee off the floor. Sink the left bottom cheek onto that heel. One breath, sit up nice and tall. If you can, even harder, take the hands away. Yes, hands to heart. One more breath here. And then drop the hands. Step yourself back, round for tabletop. Find what works for you. Breathing way over the hands. 2 more. Last one. Come to the earth, your way. And lift into your heart opener. Feel free to come all the way up to an upward facing dog, but keep the shoulders in the sockets. Keep the elbows slightly soft, so we're using the arm muscles, not the elbow joints. One more breath here. And bring yourself up and over. All the way. Back to Balasana. Oh, let it go. Head to the earth. Big stretch through the shoulders. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Well done, everyone. Giving yourself a few moments here. Coming back to those waves of breath. Finding that balance in the body, that balance in the breath. Noticing perhaps for those waves of the mind that have calmed down to little ripples as you've been focused in this meditative movement. Just for you, connected to the breath and the body and the earth. And that fluidity. One more round of breath wherever you are. We're coming to our last round. Find your way back up to tabletop and all come into downward facing dog. 2 breaths, inhale. If you're in downward facing dog, exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the hips, little wiggle. Moving on the left. So inhale, lift your left leg, maybe tippy toes on the right foot. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. 1 circle. Inhale it under, knee under. Exhale, really open to the sky. Inhale, knee under. Exhale, step that left foot nice and wide. Again, decide whether you're having that back knee up or back knee down. Bring your brick under the right hand. Sending left hand forward, spear pose. Options. Inhale, lift up into your revolved twist. Option 3, send that left hand back. Option 4, if your back knee is up, come on to the little toe sides of your feet. Keep that hip, the right hip lifted. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to the revolved twisted leg. So keep that left arm high. For 1 more inhale here. And then we're coming into reverse, which means we've got to be really stable in the legs. So inhale, lift up. Right hand to the sky. Left hand to the lower back. Try and reverse. Really lift up. 1 more inhale here. And then slowly come back down. Right hand to the earth. You can keep your left hand on your back, or you can lift it back up. We're sliding this right hand forward. Come up into that revolved half moon pose. Left hand can extend if you want to. I'm now facing the wrong way from you. Holding here. If you want to take that little dynamic movement and a little tap, even if you don't even touch the foot, maybe you're touching the shin, maybe you're just air kissing. 1 more, kick it out. And then step back. Slowly come up, windmill your hands, open that back hip, slide the back foot back. So you're in Virabhadrasana 2, left side. So left hand, left knee. Lovely. Inhale here. Exhale, sink a little lower. Find your balance, your breath. Inhale, turning to the right. Hands to heart, Anjali. Sinking down, Skandasana, back of the mat. Lovely. Straight over. Inhale. Coming back to the front of the mat. Exhale, back of the mat. You've got a few options here. You can stay as you are, sit up nice and tall. You can drop your right hand and extend your left into this twisted variation, looking over to the left, to your left toes, to the front of the mat. If you want to try and take that half bind, try and sit down relatively gracefully. Extend right arm inside of right leg. So your right shoulder is kissing the inside of that right knee. Start to rotate as you send the left hand back. And again, this is body proportions as much as anything else. So I've got very long arms. One more right here, wherever you are. Start to come back out. Coming back up. Walking back to the front of the mat into Anjaneyasana. So left foot in front. And then coming into that supported warrior 3. And then into standing split optional. So send your hands forward. Look forward. Start to kick. Supported warrior 3. Drop that right hip. Flex that back right foot. So pressing down left foot, kicking back right foot. You might stay here. If you want to standing split, walk your hands back. If you want to, take hold of the left ankle with the left hand. Kick that right foot up. Try not to look at your toes. Look under your head or look forward. One more inhale. Options. Bend that back right knee. Sit the foot down. Take your little supported curtsy. If you're coming to the baby grasshopper, as you bring, sorry, I'm not mirroring you, that right foot down, left hand takes hold of the right foot. As you sink down, kick. Right hand is out. Look to the toes. Yes, well done. Lovely. Wherever you are, one more breath. And as we said on the other side, hardest bit, trying to come back out. So if you can, kick that right foot behind you. Last breath. Step right hand foot behind you. Sink down. Come into your little curtsy. If you can, lift the hands. Sink down onto that back heel. One more breath. Let it go on the exhale. Well done. Drop the hands. Step or jump back to your plank. 3 breaths. One more. Find your way to the earth and lift the heart in your Sphinx, in your Cobra, in your Up Dog. 2 breaths. Find that long stretch down the front of the body. One more. And then slowly lift up. If you want to stay here and invite some of those lovely spirally, circly movements, feel free. Let the breath go on the exhale. Slowly finding your way back into that Balasana child's pose. Head down on the earth or supported on the arms or a brick. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. Sink away. Soften the features of the face all the way into the jaw. Maybe a big exhale. Yawn, a sigh. Trill. Oh, let it go. Deep breaths here. One more. And then very slowly, we're going to start to peel up. So draw the hands up. And we're going to come to a seated cat-cow. So hold onto the knees round the spine. Chin in, belly in, tailbone in. So really lengthen the back of the body. And then as you inhale, draw the hands and the shoulders all the way back. Hands on the hips, hands in the lower back, hands on the earth, your choice. Shoulder blades together, lift the heart. If you can't kneel, then feel free to sit on the bottom with the legs out in front of you or anything else that's comfortable. Keep lifting the heart, lift the chin if you can. Shoulder blades are really close together. And then when you're ready, slowly come up. Send the hands to the sky. Exhale, prana mudra. Send those elbows apart. If you want to, make it a bit more of a heart opener. Lift the heart. Maybe draw the elbows a little further apart, deeper into the shoulder blades. Maybe even wider if you can. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Hands to the earth, let the head go. One more breath here. And on the exhale, flowing onto our tummy. So coming to a sphinx on your forearms. So a nice supported heart opener here. If you want to, you can lift the feet just to add a little more strength to the back. And then slowly let everything go. Little hand pillow. Step the hands, forehead down. Let the feet come a bit wider. Have a little wiggle in the hips. Coming to a supine twist or crocodile twist. So gradually draw your right knee out on the floor. You can keep your forehead on your hands, or you can come back to that prana mudra, so like a little cactus, and turn your head, if the neck allows, away. So we're looking to the left and our right knee is out, almost like you're hugging the earth. So bringing all of that opening, slightly fiery, flowing energy back to earth. So rising with that peak energy, and then falling back to earth. Reminding ourselves those peaks and troughs are always there. And there might be something to take from both of them. One more breath here. And then simply swapping sides. So lift your head, draw your knee in, left knee comes out, head turns to the right. Hugging the floor, releasing down. Last couple of breaths here. And then there's no rush. There's also no real graceful way to make this transition. So lift your head. I always like to tuck my right arm under and then keep turning that way, but you do you. Come onto your back. Bend the knees, and then when you're ready, releasing the arms and legs into the sky. If the legs are tired, you can hold the backs of the legs. You can let the feet come down. We just want to let the energy roll back the other way. We've done lots of strong standing leg poses. Maybe little wiggles or rotations, toes, ankles, fingers, wrists. Now back the other way, or if rotations don't work for you, flex and extend. And then when you're ready, exhale. Oh, give the knees a big squeeze, as much as you can, really compressing into the hip flexors. Have a little roll from side to side. If you'd like to take a happy baby, then slowly release your feet. Take hold of the shins, the ankles, the outsides of the feet, and let the knees drop towards the armpits. So coming outside of the rib cage, maybe a lovely little, very happy baby rock from side to side. We're very, very nearly in Shavasana. And then final, penultimate, I should say, posture, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees out. So coming to this supine Baddha Konasana. You can keep holding your feet here. It's quite a nice neck and shoulder stretch. Or you can gradually let the feet come down. You might send the hands out to the side. You might bring the hands onto the belly. You might even bring your hands into your yoni mudra. So thumbs together, pointy fingers together, creating that downward triangle. Prana, downward movement. Yoni, womb. Place of water, place of life. And just give yourselves a few breaths here. If being in Baddha Konasana isn't comfortable and you've got bricks, you can sit bricks under the backs of your knees or a bolster. Otherwise, allow yourself to come to a full Shavasana posture. For Shavasana, I'm offering you this, Supta Baddha Konasana, but only if you can take it supported or this feels super comfy. There's nothing holding on. Otherwise, start to find your way to Shavasana. If you want to grab blankets or jumper or socks or anything, have a very slow and kind movement into your Shavasana. I'm going to come and sit up just so that I can continue to guide you. But please meet the earth in whatever way feels comfortable to you. Coming back to those waves of breath as you inhale through the nose. And exhale slowly through the mouth. Really inviting the body now to release, to let go. Shavasana, literal translation, is corpse. There's nothing to hold on to. We are no longer holding on. We are at one with the earth, with the air, with the water, with the fire, with the elements. So allowing now those waves of breath to carry you deeper into your relaxation, your Shavasana. If it's helpful, maybe even visualizing that flow of a wave. Inhale, rise. Pause and then flows away on the exhale. Maybe you imagine those waves flowing all the way out on an endless ocean. Maybe it's nighttime, maybe it's daytime, maybe you don't know what time of day it is, maybe it doesn't matter. Just keep flowing away with those breaths, allowing the whole body now to feel weights of one piece. As you take these final minutes, just as you are. And as you take your final moments here, just sharing some words with you by Emery Hall, called The Photosynthesis of Healing. What will become of this story inside of my chest? Will I excavate it from my bones, give it light and water and air? Let it bloom into a garden of flowers in your name? Or will I let it stay and let it bury me? This is the question I am always asking myself. What will become of my stories, gardens, or graveyards? Giving yourselves a final moment or two where you are. Slowly and gently. Starting to notice where the edges of the body meet the earth. Gradually awakening the body from your rest with a deep inhale right into the fingers and toes. And a deep exhale. Bringing the body slowly back to life. Maybe on the next inhale, moving through the fingers and the toes, and then releasing on the exhale. With each wave of breath, inviting a little more movement back into the body, gradually starting to move the legs, maybe the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze, a roll from side to side. And when you're ready, rolling over, finding a comfortable seated position. Maybe coming back to your Apana Mudra if you feel like there's still some flow to release. Or if you want to more traditionally bring in your hands to Anjali Mudra prayer or to the heart, this place of balance, wisdom, stability within, no matter what's happening on the surface, what's happening outside of ourselves, most of it we have no control over. Allowing the noise to be noisy, but our hearts to be peaceful. As you take these closing moments of your practice, maybe enjoying these final moments of stillness. And thanking yourselves for making the time to come to practice this evening, particularly with me online. And a big thank you from me to all of you for joining me and for your beautiful, strong, flowy flows.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. I hope you're all right. It's hard to see you all at home. But take care, sleep tight.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye, Emma. Bye, Kate.
Bye,
Bye,
bye.
Sheila. Bye, my love.